It's time for another Pet Talk segment brought to you by Kibbles and Bits. With the holidays in full swing, it's tempting to share festive treats with our furry friends, but not all foods are pet friendly. So today we're talking about what not to feed your pets. We've got Chatty here, London. Max living on London over there.
Yes, have to.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming here today.
You bet.
sure.
London loves coming. And so the rule for the holidays, everything in moderation when it comes to your pets. You know, it's a time that we want to treat them.
Sure.
And we want to treat ourselves, but just make, you know, there's a lot of things that are toxic, but not in very tiny quantities, you know.
Okay.
So things like dairy products, you know,
Right.
it's okay to give your dog a little bit, just don't overdo it.
But everybody hears that
Same
story about the dog going for the chocolate
the
snacks, right?
chocolate,
Tearing through it and then,
nuts can
Yeah.
be a real
Okay,
problem.
yeah.
And things like garlic and onions and chives and leeks, we don't think about that, but that
Okay.
we put those in a lot of the dishes that we eat for the holidays.
Yeah.
And also alcohol, things like
Sure.
that, raisins and grapes.
right.
But
What
when I
about
was thinking
bones, though? 'Cause, like, people love to give 'em a bone,
Just
right?
stay away from
Stay
it.
away from it, okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
they could choke
just
on
stay
it,
away.
right.
Well, and overdo it, and the round ones can get stuck in their teeth.
Oh, how
And so,
awful.
any really fatty things can cause pancreatitis, and that would cause a trip to the emergency room. So.
Right, and
But
nobody
when I
wants
was
that.
thinking about getting ready for this program, I
Yeah.
thought about myself as a young girl.
Yes.
And, you know, we're pretty good about knowing what to give our dogs to eat. But when I was a kid, if there was anything on my plate that I didn't want,
You'd give it
it
to
went
the dog.
right under,
Yeah.
snuck it under the table to the dog.
Right.
Yeah, and it was just like,
I
oh,
did too.
you're gonna feed me something funky, it's going straight to the dog. So you gotta keep an eye out for
Keep
the
an
kids.
eye out for the kiddos.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
tip, especially when you're gathering family and friends.
Yeah, and it was interesting when I was doing research what the difference is between things that are harmful to dogs and things that are harmful to cats. So apparently tuna, not great for cats.
Okay.
What? Who knew?
Really?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's
And-
always a tuna mix when you're having
yeah,
a
and
pet-friendly
grains,
snack.
you know, dogs can have grains, but apparently not
Cats not?
No.
Okay.
good to
So that's something,
Something
to
to
know.
keep in mind for
but
sure.
yeah, the adults are really good about making sure that the pet doesn't get too much. But
Yeah.
the kids,
Yeah.
you got to
No
keep an
trouble
eye.
if you're coming around me because I'm going to clean my plate.
You're
But-
got it covered.
And the dogs know to go to the kids and just
because they know,
They know
get
who's
it
gonna
right
give
off
them
their
the
well,
snacks.
they'll just take it right off their plate.
So if we want to give our dog a little festive treat this year, what are some things that we can give them that's safe?
You can give them meat. You can just everything in moderation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even like a tiny bit of beer is not going to hurt your
Right.
dog. It's
yeah.
just a lot.
I've
of
heard
beer.
that. Be careful
But
with
do
that.
do avoid the nuts. Avoid the onions, the garlic, the raisins, the grapes, that kind of thing. So
Sure.
no fruitcake.
Okay, no fruitcake.
No fruitcake.
No fruitcake for me
But
either. so.
but a little bit of whatever you're eating is fine. Just everything in
Yeah.
moderation.
Well, quick, before we let you go, tips to keep them warm in the colder temperatures. I know you've said that before. Obviously, London's got something on
Yeah,
today.
she's got her Christmas sweater
Right.
on, and little booties can really help
Oh,
too,
yeah, you
because that's what
talked about-
that's what gets so cold.
Their
Right.
little feet.
Imagine going out in the cold in your bare feet.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it.
No,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't want that either, right? So kind of keep them wrapped
well,
up.
they don't love wearing the booties, but it's important.
Yeah.
If you're going to go on a long walk,
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
for sure. Great. And how important is a healthy diet? I mean, really, just to the everyday life of an
Well,
animal.
I see more and more people going with the farmer's dog, the Ollie, the
Sure.
the homemade,
Yeah.
blueberries and green
Those healthy
beans and
snacks.
peas and chicken and all those things, carrots. So, I mean, people are getting the message.
Good.
People are really starting to go with the fresh homemade foods for their dogs.
Yeah.
But not all of us have the time or the wherewithal to do that. So there are a lot more great foods on the
options.
market too.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
It's
good to
changed
keep
a
in
lot in
mind.
the last 20 years.
Yeah, thanks for sharing with us today. And London, thanks for being
Yes.
here. Merry Christmas, Happy
Thank
Holidays.
you.
Thanks to Kibble and Bits for sponsoring as always.